Please allow me to introduce myself. I'm a man of wealth and taste.
I'm a king of rock, there is none higher. Sucker MCs should call me sire. To burn my kingdom, you must choose fire. I won't stop rocking till I retire.
Now we rock the party and come correct. All sets are on time and rhyme connect. Got the right to vote and will elect. Another rapper can't stand up, but give us respect. I wanna rock.
And it came to pass, the rock and roll was born. Love across the land, every rock and band going up the stone. And the guitar man got famous, the businessman got rich, and everybody was a superstar. It was a spirit. Look at me rock. I just don't know what I want. I love rock and roll.
Riders on the storm, riders on the storm. Into this house we're born, into this world we're thrown. Like a dog without a bone, an actor out on loan. Riders on the storm.
And the music was good and the music was loud.
What is it? Oh, Lord,
What's up, Cyberspace Cadets? That's right, it's Sunday, and you know what that means. Ring that bell, subscribe. It's time for some ice cream. Ice cream, you scream. We are all screaming for that ice cream. And, to me, the reason I call it ice cream is because most people call see ice cream as a treat. And to me, a treat is talking to somebody that I'm interested in. And somebody I want to know more about, and today's guest is really no exception, and I've been really looking forward to this for a long time. Every time I've hung out with this dude, it's been we've usually had a good time, right? Yep. I love that sense of humor. And we're going to get into a couple of things that I find unique about this guy. So everybody, welcome the next 6 minutes. Chat.
Hey, everybody.
I can hear them all. No, I can't. All right, so let me see if this thing's working. Check 1, 2. Give me a check again.
Check 1, 2.
There he is. Okay, cool. Well, we'll just go in the dog and cat room. Forget about it. All right, meow meow. So how's your day been, man? How was your Halloween?
My day has been awesome. This of course is the first day of Dia de los Muertos, and I don't know if anybody much outside of Texas really does much observation of this. It's really more of a prominent thing in certain communities and so on and so forth. But it is what I tack on to the end of October as sort of like an annex of October. It's sort of like the continuation of the Halloween celebration. And that's
yeah. Keep going. I'm sorry.
That's okay. Yeah.
For the if you're listening to the recording, it's Sunday, November 1st. Oh yeah. Somebody just hopped the super chat in there. When you hear that, oh yeah, you know the super chat's been happening. Terry Diamantis,
oh, yeah.
Thank you for that $6 Australian, $1 per minute. That's right.
Yeah,
I like it. I like it.
I see what you did there.
Yeah.
I see what you did there.
Terry, man, he was fun on this thing. He got a little strange. You know what I'm saying? It always gets strange when Terry's around.
Terry is a hoot, a bona fide hoot.
Indeed. Dark Star. So I want to say hey to a couple of people in the chat. All right, I see Zach Osborne. You're ridiculous lunatic. Of course, 6. Terry Diamantis. We've acknowledged you. Now go away. Richo 8181. I'm kidding, man. Oh God, this may get weird. Let's see. Dark Stars 6909. I think, did I say your name? I'm sorry. Nightbot, you don't talk. K-Show, you're not real, you're not human. Wikipedia snippet, Waves of Destruction, what's up? It looks like everybody for the time being. Some Pinoid. he threw another one at me, man. Thank you so much, Pinoid. You're awesome, dude. 6 tried to sell me some super male vitality. I told him I can't. No more male. Okay. I wish I spoke Pinoid, man. Things are. He makes life interesting for sure. So all right. So I've got some questions here, and usually I start at the. I start at the beginning, and which is YouTube, right? And then when we're back full circle, we'll be back at YouTube. And that's and then we have completed our course, and the show will be completed. I don't know how else to say it, right? So all right. So in chat, you know the deal. You know the drill. If you got any questions for the next 6 minutes, write them down during the show when they come to you, and then save them, and I'll leave you a spot to throw some out before we head out. So, and on that note, we're going to ask Mr. Six, how long have you been around YouTube? And what was the main reason? And what was the main reason you decided to do YouTube? Sorry, now go. I'll shut up.
Okay, so my ass has been on the YouTube since December 24th, 2015. So I'm very close to my 5th anniversary. I may or may not do a stream in early December to acknowledge that. So that's something that I'm in the early stages of planning. I'm gonna have guests and whatnot, and go over the history of the next 6 minutes and so on and so forth. So yeah, I've been on this platform for going on 5 years now. I really didn't start taking off until I had actually joined Minds.com, and that was after watching a Dave Cullen video where he promoted that site very heavily. And up until then, I had a grand total of 8 subs for roughly the first year and a half of my channel. I was doing a lot of what is quote unquote normie stuff, non-controversial kind of stuff, not really any commentary, not any sort of political, controversial kind of material. So I joined Minds.com, and I really started talking to people, and that's of course where I met wonderful people. One of the first ones that I met, of course, was Weibo Jones. Spectacular young lady. She just put out a video today. Go and watch it. Go to her Streamlabs and submit awesome coffee money to fuel that girl's brain stuff. So yeah. Anyhow, so I really started taking off after I went to Minds.com and really started talking to people. Before then, I really had this aloof, sort of standoffish sort of approach to what I was doing. I kind of had the idea of wanting to do things a lot more organically, but that really wasn't the philosophy that I really should have been going with. And I was talking to Killing Joke just the other day. He was on my 60 Vibe stream just the other day, and we were talking about this kind of stuff.
Speaking of Killing Joke, he just tossed in $5. Says Six sells bootleg gas station boner pills out of the trunk of his car. God damn it!
It is my never-ending campaign to make all the frogs gay.
That's right. We're gonna make them all gay. Just get over here.
Yeah. And speaking
Joe
of making
Rogan.
the frogs,
Yeah, we're gonna make them gay.
Speaking of making the frogs gay, back in the late '90s, a conspiracy theory sort of friend of mine turned me on to Alex Jones videos, and that's where I discovered Alex Jones way back when he was a youngin', and this is back when the Paul Joseph Watson was a spring chicken. He was newly hatched into the internet sphere, and it was one of his videos. I believe he was interviewing a guy by the name of Angry Foreigner, a Croatian dude that emigrated to Sweden. And I was watching. That's how I got started watching sort of what has come to known as the internet skeptic, anti-SJW commentary, whatever name you want to give to it. And that's sort of how I started discovering people like Thunderfoot and Sargon and Mundane Matt and a lot of my early Honey Badger Radio a lot of content creators over, say, the course of a few months during the summer of 2015. And it occurred to me that this is something that I could do myself. So that's how I kind of started doing this, and I was very reluctant to do any sort of thing like controversial at the time, because that really wasn't, I didn't see myself doing that, and I didn't really adopt that until much later, until late 2016, early 2017. So that was kind of a roundabout way of answering your first couple of questions.
Yeah, it was excellent too. I think, yeah.
Thank you.
Only you can tell your story, right?
Yes, sir.
That's what I like about this thing, man. It's everybody takes it, as the responses to the questions are just as unique as the people, right? So each show has its own organicity to it. So
Exactly.
yeah,
Exactly.
it's wicked. I dig it, man. I dig it. I dig people. Just saying. All right. So second YouTube question is, you want to talk about you've got a persona, and then you're you, and then the question is, talk about each one, and then how much of you do we see in each one, each presentation?
Well, there is, when you see me, particularly on stream, when you see me in videos, it's not greatly divorced from who I really am in real life. It's just I guess a looser version of who I am IRL. I don't have much of a persona, unless we're talking about my evil clone.
Yeah,
which you can catch on my next live streams channel, as he does battle monthly against the forces of good at the labs of Arcater and their valiant director, the director Arcater. Yeah, I'm talking about Bad Six.
right.
Bad Six is he's a bad dude. He's a bad dude, and
What is it
you
like?
never know when he's gonna
How do you
break
say
out
Mexican?
that rusty.
La malo seis.
Sextus Malus was his
Yeah.
that's his ancestor. As the lore goes, an ancestor of mine, Ponce del Seis, the most famous engineer of all of pre-Renaissance Spain, was cloned by evil space aliens to create the
Is
notorious
he the guy
saboteur.
that designed the pointy helmets?
Maybe. I don't know. You'll have to ask Bad Six about that. He's more brushed. I didn't even know I had an ancestor, Ponce de la Seis.
Dude, I'm feeling weird. It's a fucking time change, man. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I'm sorry. keep going.
Yeah, Bad Six.
Yeah.
Shit. He knows more about my family history than I do. So it's like, damn. I'm gonna have to check Ancestry.com to see this.
Wikipedia, that is a yes. Hi, Michael Hatfield. It's had him and William Stinch ever. I'll even say hi to you. Hi, man. So, all right. So here, this is. I love asking people this question because the response is: there a food from your childhood that you could not stand, and now as an adult you actually like it?
Kiwi.
Ah. Yeah.
Until I was about a teenager, I didn't like kiwi and a lot of green foods.
Right.
Particularly kiwi, because I was suspicious of this fruit that came in this fuzzy brown form, and then you cut it open and it's this suspiciously green fruit that looks like an eye that's staring at you.
Pinoid pops 2 in before the moan. Just saying. 6 sells shark fins laced with MSG out of his Uber.
Sweet sour sauce.
Crazy. I like the cat though. And this new pop up has got me laughing.
Yeah, I like that.
What do you think about the title?
I dig what you got going here. I especially like this fractal thing that you got going on there with the green and the purple and the.
It's not my
cat.
creation. I grabbed it off of the free HD shit. That's so it may or may not be free,
But you got a good eye for aesthetics, so.
Well, thank you. Yeah, well, we've got something in common with that. We went to school for art, for sure. And I wasn't going to get to that. I see. I've known this dude. I know this dude. So
Game recognizes game.
Indeed. All right. So, all right. Who would you say the most influential person to your youth was?
I would say there's a few. And my youth, it's a spotty sort of thing. I went from extreme to extreme. There was a point in my adolescence where I don't think you would recognize me because my worldview was so very different than it was than it is now. In fact, different as night and day. It's been quite an evolution since about maybe 12, 13. But in the times where I would say that I was most with it, is, for lack of a better description, were the times that I was most with it. I would have to say that probably my most earliest influences would be like Western characters.
Mm-hmm.
Your Rooster Cogburns, your
wow,
your Paladins, shit. What was actually, he didn't have really a name. Clint Eastwood's character, and for a few dollars more, and
the guy with no name. The gunman with no name.
These guys, they had a kind of gravitas that I kind of gravitated towards. And this is a bit of a funny story, but as my mom tells it, I think it was a kindergarten or first grade teacher was threatening to hold me back because I would only answer to Spider-Man.
Yes. So, all right. So, what kind of kid were you like at school and stuff?
I was, until I was about in my adolescence. I was generally a fairly social kid. Of course, I wasn't always let into every clique, but I was, pretty open to most people. And I must admit, I was picked on quite a bit, and I'm only really kind of beginning to understand kind of the psychology behind why that was. But it's kids will be kids. Kids can be cruel, and I certainly saw my fair bit of that when I was young. And I was one of these kind of guys that most people I was cool with, and it was sort of an alien concept to me to have to sort of feel like I was contending with people that just, by their fucking very nature, they were just not having it. So it's like, okay, man, you're hostile for reasons that,
right.
that I can't really fathom right now in my young mind as to why exactly you're this way. And I probably won't understand you for another 35 years. And that's kind of the case where I have a greater understanding of what these kids were about. And certainly that there was a lot of stuff that was probably going on in their lives that 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 made them that way. Life was really making them that way, and I was catching a lot of flack for stuff that really I could have no idea or perception of it. That's just what was going on with these kids.
So, that was pretty much like elementary and middle school.
Yeah, elementary and middle school, and unfortunately, a lot of that it was a cumulative effect.
Mm.
It was a cumulative effect that led me to develop a philosophy and worldview that was very negative, extremely negative. And you probably would not be able to distinguish me from your garden variety Antifa kid if you were to look at me when I was anywhere from 12 to maybe 17, 18. And it sucks to have to say that, but yeah, I was certainly following a worldview, and I certainly found enough as far as like what I was seeing in the media to become that. And it sucks, but that was just my reality then, and
Right.
I didn't have a whole lot to turn to have an opposing sort of view, because everything that was going wrong in my life at that time just kept reinforcing and reinforcing and reinforcing and reinforcing.
Mhm.
And I was certainly, it came to such an extreme point that if I had the power to exert on others, I would have been very despotic.
Hmm.
And
So if you could go back in time and talk to a little six at the age of 8, what would you say to him?
things are going to get better. I know things look very, very grim right now, and there are so many people that have so much pain right now that they're expressing it to you in such a way that it really makes you start to hate people, and just form this very, very bitter protective shell around yourself. But you don't need to do that, because right now you can only really see what's around you right now, and in the time frame that is only currently available to you right now, and that's only slightly more than, say, a dozen to 15 years. When you have more years under your belt, you begin to see things differently, and certainly you begin to start forgiving people more readily, because you can see so many more examples of people that you would have judged very harshly, but you've come to judge very slowly now. One of the greatest things that I probably have ever seen was, I can't even remember the title of it now, but it was a lecture series that was given by comedian Robert Wool. You might remember him as the reporter guy from Batman '89.
Yeah.
And his lecture, this particular thing, is about judging slowly. And his example, of course, was Hedy Lamarr. Now, Hedy Lamarr in her day was considered like, sort of like, I don't know, like a Scarlett Johansson of her day. And people just see the pretty outer shell, the sort of vapid sort of personality. Vapid is the word I want to use, but I'm going to use it anyway. Vapid personality. Yeah. But underneath it all was a genius that had a grasp on engineering that has essentially has influenced technology. This is a woman that helped design a can't remember what the technology was, but it was for some sort of radar system. This is a Hollywood actress, and on a napkin, she came up with a design with the guy that she was hanging out with, and it is now used in our modern military technology to help protect our shores, and that's is amazing.
That's crazy.
And so hearing certainly the way he was explaining that to Judge Slowly is certainly helped me develop a much healthier look on certainly people, and certainly the mistakes they make, and certainly the pain that they carry to make them do the fucked up stuff that they do.
You got an old saying, hurt people hurt people.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah, I feel that, man. All right, so kind of shift the gears just a little bit. What about holidays, times of year, seasons? Is there anything that you really that really fires you up?
I would have to say fall and winter is my preferred time of year. Largely because well, the weather is so much better. In Texas, we get so many days of bright, sunny, warm day. It just boring. It's not interesting at all. And so when it gets cooler, it starts to get interesting.
Peanut throws in 5. You know, if you're going to cut off the cat's heads and nail it to the door, he stops messing with you. No need to analyze behavior.
Subtext.
Yeah. Man. Yeah. It's like a...
Corn Pop was a bad dude.
Indeed.
Corn Pop was indeed a bad dude. Yeah, so Becca Farrelly, you are right. Texas does have 2 seasons, fall, winter, and sprummer. Yeah. It's a combination of fall and winter, and a combination of spring and summer. I don't care for spring and summer because my allergies are typically worse then.
Yeah, you got this thing called Marchmas that people may not know about. Tell them about that a little bit.
Marchmas is a holiday that I made up, and you can go to my channel and learn all about Marchmas and hear my Marchmas carols. Marchmas is a celebration of allergies, and yeah, it's a celebration of allergies. Is when February has too many days of 75 degrees Fahrenheit or higher. That's if it wears out its welcome in that respect, then I will declare a Marchmas. And I will have 30 days of Marchmas where I go to my social media platforms, i.e. Twitter and Discord, and I will post Christmas music all month long.
So you all can Christmas right this very minute. Just saying.
And you can all share in my pain.
It's definitely like you have to experience it in its entirety to really appreciate the coolness of it. I dig it. I always dug your edges, dude, because you definitely are sporting to your own drummer in a good way. I think it's great.
I speak 3 languages: English, bad Spanish, and sarcasm.
Just slightly. All right, so what was the craziest thing you did as a kid?
Craziest thing I did as a kid. That's a good question. I did a lot of really stupid shit. I can tell you the most audacious thing I ever did as a kid. It's the temerity of this young lad. I got up in front of the entire school during a lunch period that was made into an assembly. The entire school was there, and I said, and on no uncertain terms, that I would be traveling to China, which was complete bullshit.
Right.
But I said it anyway.
So what were the repercussions from it?
Oh, I got a lot of ribbing after that. After it was proven to be false, and in fact, some of my teachers were like, they're asking my parents, "Oh, so when are you guys going to China? When are you guys going to China?" What the hell? We're not going to China. Well, that's what he said in front of the entire school. Yeah, that was the kind of shit I did. That was the kind of shit I did when I was a kid. Because fuck it, that's why.
I feel you. All right, shifting gears a little bit. What about the first time you were with a girl? So what was that?
That would have been 1992. That would have been 1990. Shit, that's a miracle. I remember that. I've only ever been with one, and it was not it was not great. It was not great. It's insofar as relationships go, I have had abysmal luck, and it's fortunate. I would say a miracle that I was ever with anyone, and of course, she was just I guess a friend with benefits at the time, and it wasn't great, and it sucks that that's really my only frame of reference. And it sucks even more that it's been strikeout after strikeout after strikeout. I'm like the Oakland A's from the 1990s.
Don't lose hope, dude. My grandmama always said, this is my mom's mom, she was a hard Irish woman. She used to say that there's always a fool for a fool. And you know what that means, there's somebody out there for you.
Interestingly,
I'm not calling you a fool. I'm just...
Yeah. Interestingly enough, irate prostate. Did you know that today is exactly the 10th anniversary of my last strikeout?
Holy smokes.
Yeah. 10 years ago today was my last strikeout. And it's... I would say I'm open to the possibility of relationships. And I've grown past the disappointments of 10 years ago. But that last one was nuclear. just to put it as plainly as I can put it, it was a thermonuclear nuclear strike that kind of put me off of the whole possibility of it for many years after that. And really only the last couple of years I've been kind of open to, hey, you know what?
Is it like like Sam Kinnis's divorce, where he says it's like she didn't just rip out his heart, but she chewed it, stomped on it, and spit on it, and then shoved it back in his chest.
Yeah, and then strapped my ass to a freaking rocket like so much Captain America and Red Skull, and shot me over to. It was a bad experience, and
Damn, dude.
So it was pretty fucked up, but it's just one of those things where, you know, I'm receptive to the possibility if the right lady just happens to cross my paths. You know what? I think she's gonna find a very receptive 6.
I feel you, man. Good. Well, good luck on that, man.
You're welcome.
Yeah, I want people to be as happy as I am for sure when it comes, especially that kind of stuff. Let's see. What about the first time you got fucked up?
Oh,
Give me a second. All right,
good question.
TK Mal, $2. Why do you hate women?
I don't hate women. I just hate nuclear situations.
Hey, TK Mal. Hey, Jack Gunsky. Hey, Wikipedia snippet. I see you all out there. God, the good one. Sup, man?
How you guys doing?
I look at his stuff sometimes. It's really cool.
Yeah, Gunsky, that hashtag
rascal.
rigged. Hashtag rigged.
Yeah, no shit.
Gunsky.
Dude. Oh, say hi to Uzi. She's at work, so
Who's A?
she's on break probably. Gotta love my woman.
How you doing, Uzi?
So, all right, moving. Next question. What about? So I asked you about getting fucked up. About the first time you got trashed.
The first time I got trashed. Good gosh, I'm 43 years old. We'll have to go back a while. I would have to say the first sort of memorable trashed was I want to say I was over at a buddy's house, and what the hell were we drinking? Schlitz, I think. Yeah.
Do they even make that anymore, man?
I think they still do, but yeah.
If your beer's got, if you're a can of beer and it has brown on the label, that's a hint. You know, just go ahead.
Yeah, yeah. And his dad was out of town, so he had a freaking shit ton of Schlitz, and being the experimental kids we were, we got into his Schlitz, and dude, we end up in a fucking tree. Just hating existence, because good gosh, we were yeah, neither of us had terrific body density at that time, so we couldn't really handle our booze. And my head was spinning like a certain Dead or Alive song. Okay, no, not everybody's gonna get that reference.
Is that a game? The game Dead or Alive?
No, it's the band. Mid 80s band.
Yeah,
Used to band me.
Yeah, DOA. Okay, yeah. I just know them as DOA.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah,
Pete Burns, rest in peace, bro.
Fuck, they're a good band, man.
Yeah.
I'm impressed. Kind of me impressed.
It's still okay. Gunsky is saying yes, they still make Schlitz.
Holy moly! Good God! And just when you thought the Schlitz was bad, they came up with Milwaukee's best, the Beast.
Oh yeah.
It's just like fuck. Oh my God!
I'm an aficionado of bad beer. A buddy of mine, the same conspiracy theory guy he's one of these guys that doesn't believe we walked on the moon. So, but he was very good at buying the beer. So he'd always get those the natural light, the big bottles, and he always had a steady supply of those. So we used to drink of those quite liberally, and play Unreal Tournament over LAN.
Oh wow!
Watch movies like Starship Troopers and Harry Potter and the Chamber of Secrets and Tombstone and stuff like that. Those were some good times, where we just freaking get hammered and just freaking walk around shooting at the walls, and yeah, good times.
I love that movie Tombstone too. It's like it's the scene with
bring the thunder.
With the
I'll
Latin.
bring the thunder, and
Yeah.
hell's coming with me.
And hell's are coming with me. All right, so what about music? Let's kind of shift gears and kind of get into tastes and stuff. What was the first concert you ever went to? Or if you've been
First concert.
you've been to
Good
one.
question. I went to a lot of interesting concerts. I guess the big marquee people, the first ones I ever saw was my dad took me to see Robert Palmer during his Addicted to Love.
Wow.
Yeah. And the opening act was Belinda Carlisle of the Go-Go's.
Wow, yeah. When she went solo.
So that was badass, and she was singing a lot of Go-Go songs. So it's
Yeah.
like I was kind of into the Go-Go's, and I was like kind of into Belinda Carlisle, to be admitted. Shit, yeah. So it was like,
Yeah,
that was a win for me.
No shit. It's like Robert Palmer got better the older I got.
Oh yeah,
And I liked
Oh, yeah.
him. I liked him when he was out. It's just like just a great ability to find a good groove and kind of, add some pop to it. Enough.
Yeah.
Good stuff. Very talented.
yeah.
I love it.
I was hoping he would play some Power Station stuff, and I think he did play one Power Station song. Of course, John Taylor wasn't there to
Right.
be the guitarist, but yeah, it was fucking phenomenal concert.
Yeah. Power
And
Station.
I saw that in I want to say it was 1986 at the Memorial Coliseum in Corpus Christi.
Hell yeah. Man. All right, wait, so what's your favorite band?
Dude, I don't even know if I can answer that question.
Well, what's the last thing you listened to? You remember listening to?
I would have to say Slade.
A killer.
I was listening to Slade when I was coming home from the Chinese restaurant today.
Yeah.
Run Away.
Yes.
And there's a fantastic thing about that song is that I really didn't start listening to much Slade until like maybe the last year and a half. But I was aware of the band, and I knew that Quiet Riot did a lot of covers of Slade songs in the early to mid 1980s. And there was this song that I saw on MTV that just blew me away. And that song was Run Away. But I never caught the title of the song or the name of the band that did it. So for 35 years,
The earworm.
35 years, I searched for that damn song. And I would describe it. I've described that song to countless numbers of people. I couldn't tell you how many times I've described it to other people, and I just got blank stares. And then when I was at work last year, they played the song while I was at work.
Oh shit.
And I had one of those apps on my phone that identifies songs. So I was like, okay, click, and I look at it, and I just wanted to bang my head against the wall because this is a band that I'd heard of.
Yeah.
I didn't follow them, so I wouldn't.
Slade was an Aussie band, so they were more, popular, down under and in England and shit, right?
I think they were from the UK, but yeah.
Okay, maybe I'm wrong on that. But yeah, they were good stuff, man. Kind of T-Rexy and kind of, had that good crunchy poppy sound.
And Naughty, the singer, the voice of that dude.
Yeah, it's almost like AC/DC, like took a lot of conceptually from them. Yeah,
his voice is just fantastic. The wail that he can put into.
Dude, now you got me. I gotta write down. I gotta get some Slade now. Damn it.
Slade is. I recommend this band to anybody that truly wants to rock.
It's some good stuff, man.
I've been rediscovering and discovering this band like over the last year and a half. It's like, damn. And I have a lot of examples of this kind of obsession. I'm one of these kind of guys that I do not like to not remember something awesome that I was exposed to at an earlier age, and I've rediscovered a lot of things. And of course, Slade is one of the more recent ones that I've been able to rediscover, and I share that all with you.
Indeed.
Run Away by Slade, 1984, I want to say. 83 or 84 something.
Yeah, Quiet Right did Come On Feel the Noise, and what else?
Mama, We're All Crazy Now.
Yes, yeah, Mama, We're All Crazy Now. But yeah, that was, Randy Rhoads was originally their guitar player. And right after they got their record deal, he left them to play for Ozzy.
And unfortunately, he passed away in an airplane crash.
He sure did, man. 2 weeks, almost to the day after I saw them, which is, that's one treat I'm going to relish, as I get older. Anyway. What about Guilty Pleasures music wise?
Guilty Pleasures. Yeah, I've got more than a few of those. I got more. Oh, God, I got more than a few of those. I had one of my more recent Guilty Pleasures is another rediscovery of mine. It actually wasn't one of those that I was like super obsessive about, but it was one of those kind of like, who the fuck were these guys? And I watched a rated R movie with a buddy of mine. It was coincidentally, it was the same buddy of mine that I ended up in the tree with the Schlitz. We had watched this movie on, I believe, the Cinemax, one of those the Skinemax movies that they would play after hours. Yeah, I was over at his house and we were staying up late watching dirty movies, and this movie called She's 19 and Ready. This German British film about these three young people, two guys and a girl, both want to bang this chick, but she's all these comedic kind of situations interrupts their game. But anyway, they stop off at this club in Germany, and there's this band playing, and it's a real band, it's a real group. This movie was released in 1979, so they were still very young. It was a band that had they competed in the 1979 Eurovision competition, and the band's name is Genghis Khan.
Yeah.
And you might remember very recently it's sort of a meme song anymore, Moscow, their song. But the song that they were performing on stage was actually the song Genghis Khan by the band Genghis Khan. And I remarked to my buddy at the time, why the hell are they singing a song about Genghis Khan? And it was a rediscovery. I was watching one of those clip videos, the GIFs with sound.
Well, like those late 70s comedies, like where it's just a bunch of high school kids trying to find a place to screw. I mean, and that's literally the plot of the movie, man.
That's literally that movie, man.
Exactly. I've seen that movie like 7 or 8 times with different titles.
And little did I know at the time, the band was a real band. And I didn't rediscover them until earlier, like late last year, earlier this year, when I was watching some like GIFs with sound meme videos, and the song kept coming up on that. I was like, what the hell is this song? Oh, I'll whip out my handy dandy cell phone and identify this song. And so I followed that, and it led me to the stuff on YouTube, and it's like, why is this song so damn familiar? This Genghis Khan. Where have I heard this before? And I looked up the members of the band on IMDb, and it showed Steve Bender, the bald guy from the band. It showed him, and lo and behold, he was in this movie. She's 19 and she's ready. It's like, oh my gosh, I remember that was these guys. Oh my gosh. So yeah, that was fucking mind blowing. So that's one of my guilty pleasures is I downloaded some of their music and I listen to them in the car going to work. So it's one of my more recent guilty pleasures. Yeah. Yep.
See, next I'm supposed to ask you about all right, what about horror films? Are you into horror, sci-fi?
Not as much as I used to. I used to watch like Jason and Freddy movies like obsessively. I would freaking break out my GI Joes and flip on Jason and Freddy movies and just have them playing in the background. Aliens, yeah, a lot of like some original Night of the Living Dead.
Yeah.
Just have them on in the background while I was fucking freaking kicking ass as Cobra. Oh yeah, I played the bad guys. I was Cobra Commander. He's my boy.
Cobra Kai. I mean, well, it's a different show.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. So, let's see. What about? All right. Yeah. All right. So one thing that I always loved about this dude is that he lives in Texas, and he's a hockey fan.
Oh yeah.
So talk about, man, your relationship with hockey. How that started, man.
Okay, that's a bit of we're going back a while. I've always been kind of a fan of the Olympic Games. I mean, shit. When the Olympics are on, it's like that's my jam, bro. That's my jam. Let's let the athletes walk out into the arena and just like introduce all the countries and stuff, and just that was my jam, and it's always kind of been my jam. So I was watching the 1988 Winter Olympics, which was in Calgary, Canada, and I was watching the Russian squad as they're walking out into the ice, and they had these sweet freaking visors on their helmets, and I was like, damn, that looks badass. And I really hadn't followed. I knew what ice hockey was, of course, but then I didn't really follow the sport, and then I saw more of it, and it was like, oh, that is so awesome to see the way those dudes move on the freaking ice. It's like this is magical shit. And that's kind of how that started. And I started watching movies like Youngblood and Mighty Ducks, and that's kind of how
Slapshot.
that all Slapshot. Oh damn.
Yeah.
Damn.
What were those brothers' name, man? I always get
Those
them.
were the Hanson
The Hanson
brothers.
brothers. Yes. Fuck yes.
Get that stick in his teeth. Let him know you're there.
That's a great movie, man. And the one with Kurt
fucking
Russell,
root beer.
the Kurt Russell movie with
That was Miracle.
Yeah,
Not Miracle. That was what the hell?
The
That was
Dream
Mystery
Team.
Alaska.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, Miracle and Mystery Alaska was with Russell Crowe.
Ah.
Yeah. So during the 90s, I watched a shit ton of that kind of stuff, and I was of course I'm a Dallas Stars fan. Go Stars.
So how'd y'all
Sorry to see
dad?
you
Go ahead.
So sorry to see them fall in 6 games to the Tampa Bay Lightning, but then again, COVID, whatever.
Yeah. It's 2020 is going in the books, man, for sure. Just saying. It's a lot
It's
like
weird to see.
Yeah, it's a lot like
NHL
1086. I'm kidding, man. Oh fuck. I'm lost. Where am I? Daddy, no. Let's see. All right. All right, so, anime, yes or no with you?
I would say for the last 25 years, not so much. But I did watch a lot of anime in the 1980s.
Yeah.
Insofar as my favorite anime would go, gonna have to go with Battleship Yamato.
That's
Space Battleship Yamato.
dude. See, we're right in that same like taste groove. Have you ever seen Akira?
Oh yes, Akira, 1987, I want to say.
Yeah, that's the next
Some
one.
of the best anime was released in 1987. If you
Yeah.
go to 1987 and research all that was like the golden age. That was the golden year of particularly the 1980s, robot and just amazing stuff. I think what the hell was that one called? Like Robot Circus, Robot Carnival, or something like that was released back then.
I need to say thanks to Platypus Lemon for £1.99. Hi from Plague Central, UK, AK London. Greetings. Yeah, we heard about your precarious situation. Our prayers are with you. Sorry, now, as you were saying.
As I was saying, yeah. So, I watched quite a bit of anime during the 80s and early 90s. I think one of the last things that I was really into was probably Appleseed.
Yeah, that was really good, man. In the 90s,
and New Dominion Tank Police. Those are probably one of the last kind of animes were in Bubblegum Crisis. Those were some of the last ones that I was really into.
That Appleseed had a great aesthetic to it.
And
a beautiful look.
I think the last like truly great film that I saw before I started really getting out of the genre was a movie called Pat Labor 1.
I've never seen that.
Pat Labor 1, it's a fantastic film. You have to see it. It was a favorite of one of the bands that I was following at the time, KMFDM.
Yeah.
And they did a music video with footage from Pat Labor 1.
Oh, wow. Yeah, I saw them open with Fugazi and somebody else opening for Ministry. That was outstanding jams there. All right, so we're going to get personal now. Okay.
Lay it on me.
All right, so do you have any scars, tattoos, piercings?
I have a few scars. I don't really have any tattoos or piercings.
If you all right, so if you could get a tattoo, that would explain you. What would that look like?
That's a very damn good question. What would really I would say about 10 years back I kind of had an idea of getting a really large monochrome tattoo on my upper back, like the area between my two shoulder blades, of the Chinese symbol for snake, because I'm born in the year of the snake. That's probably what I would get.
That's cool.
If I were to get a tattoo.
It's not a kanji. What do they call those? I can't remember. Maybe it is a kanji. I don't know. Let's see. In 40 years, what do you think people will be nostalgic for?
I hate to say it, but I think people are going to be nostalgic for things like Vine and TikTok videos.
What's the most useless talent you have?
Oh, I can wiggle both of my pinky toes.
Like separate without moving your other toes?
Yep.
Oh, dude, that's a trick. That's a trick. Let's see. I like that.
So any prospective ladies out there that are interested in good old 6, I can wiggle both my pinky toes. If that's your particular thing, then I'm your man.
Find one that can knot a cherry stem with her tongue. Just saying. That's a special talent.
If you can tie that cherry stem with your tongue there, I'll show you both of my toes wiggling independently of each other.
See, it's the beginning of a beautiful thing. If you could know the absolute and total truth of one question, what would that be?
The absolute and total truth of one question. We're delving into some deep philosophy here with that particular question. I don't know. That's a hell of a can of worms to open. But I would ask the question: why do we perceive? Why does the brain? Why was it necessary to structure the brain so that the times that we enjoy, the perception of time is that would fly by much faster than, say, the time that we don't enjoy. Now, I understand the science behind why the brain slows down and the perception of time, why the perception of time is the way it is, because the brain goes into a different mode where it's almost like your brain is slowing down so it can analyze and deconstruct the situation as it's happening in real time. And that's why generally unpleasant things feel like they're going by much slower than the times where your brain goes into a sort of state where it's not as active in certain respects. So it feels like time is going by faster than it actually is. The time is going by at the same rate,
right?
Either way,
right?
But you're perceiving it differently,
correct?
And I've always thought that sucked, and I kind of I want to know why the universe structured it so that we would spend too much time dwelling on the unpleasant things and not enough time on the things that truly move us.
Because they spiritually they each have equal weight. I'm with you, man. It's milk the joy, savor the joy. It's because
so I'm on vacation right now, but I know the time that I'm on vacation. If you take an equal number of days from times that I'm at work and times that I'm on vacation, the time that I'm at work is going to go by so damn slow. But the time that I'm on vacation, it's going to be like, I mean, 3 days have already disappeared. I'm on the 3rd day right now. It's like, damn, that went by fast.
Man. So, let's see. What is your spirit animal?
I would have to say my spirit animal is probably Heathcliff.
I dig it. I love that cat. That's so cool. All right. So at this point in time, we do what's called the Lipton questions, and it's named after James Lipton, who used to do the thing called Inside the Actor Studio.
Lay it on me.
Are you familiar with that?
I am familiar with James Lipton.
All
yes.
right, so
the glasses and yeah.
So, what's your favorite word?
My favorite word? So the word that I use most often. Ah, damn. My favorite word. Ah. I'll tell you what my favorite curse.
Okay, yeah, that's coming.
What-
That's coming up though. That's
Okay, so I'll save that. My favorite word.
what's your least favorite word, and then maybe we can find a favorite that way.
My least favorite word. Genre.
So, what was your favorite word then?
My favorite word would probably be something akin to the word that I like to hear the most is probably the one that I'll have to go with.
Okay.
And I would go with probably something along the lines of a mass.
Okay, that's interesting. Well, all right. So, what turns you on creatively, spiritually, or emotionally?
What turns me on creative, spiritually, emotionally would probably be people that are really in the zone. And I recognized when people are in the zone, when things are really clicking with them.
Mm-hmm.
And when they explain things, and I can really get the sense that they're speaking from a side of them that the mojo is really working for them, the vibe is really working for them, they're really harnessing that chi. And when they're explaining things to you, it's like, damn, they are tapping into something that is really truly universal within them. And they're certainly, they have their antenna out, and they're really sort of just bringing their A game. And when they're explaining stuff to you, you can really you can pick that up. There's a few different kinds of, the way I explain it is, there are a few different kinds of musicians out there, and the music that you truly connect with, that really stands the test of time. There's a difference between the music artists. You have music artists that just kind of do music. Then you have the music artists that really stand the test of time. These are particularly these are the ones that were, you could say that their music is timeless, and they really love what they do. But then you have a higher form of musicians. You have people that are truly in love with what they are doing, and you can hear that love in their voice, and the way they play their instruments, the way they orchestrate their music, the way everything is structured, from songwriting to arrangement of notes. George Carlin explained once that it's not enough to know the notes of blues to play the blues. You have to know why they need to be played. And these are the musicians that truly stand out, that truly make an impact with me. Is when you can feel the love. You feel their love in the music that you hear.
Passion,
People like,
pain.
yes, people like Bob Marley.
Mm.
If you really listen to Bob Marley, you can hear the love in that man for everything that he is and everything that he does. And these are typically the acts that I gravitate towards, because it's something that I respond so primally, so so fundamentally, structurally, I gravitate towards these kind of artists, and these are the kind of artists that are in love with what they're doing.
That is a turn on it. What turns you off?
What turns me off? What turns me off? It would be easy to say fake people, but it's not. It's not really truly that simple. It's what turns me off is people that break up with themselves for the wrong reasons. People that give up on themselves for a lot of really bad reasons. I truly hate it when I see a truly great band that breaks up because of quote unquote creative differences. That's a pet peeve with me.
I feel it. Life is short.
Yeah.
And those bands that broke up, back in the day, they always ended up getting back together.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I think perspective puts everything in perspective.
Yeah.
Let's see. What's your favorite curse word?
Shit on a stick.
Yeah, I like it. What sound or noise do you love?
Oh, the sound, noise that I love. I love the sound of a toaster oven.
Nice. What sound or noise do you hate?
Sound or noise that I hate. I would probably have to say leaf blowers.
Indeed, man. Especially when they be waking me up on Monday morning at 8 o'clock. Son of a bitches. Skep Talk. They'll say hey to Skep Talk. And
Skep.
He was saying hey to us. Anyways.
Yeah, I have a video on my channel where, oh my gosh, these guys, it had just rained and it was still raining, and these lawn guys were out with their damn leaf blowers. They were out with their damn leaf blowers and edge trimmers. It was like, what the hell? It's still raining. What the hell is wrong with you guys? Most idiotic thing I've ever seen. And yeah.
Man. Oh, what sound or what profession other than your own would you like to attempt?
You know, I've for the last several months I've been delving back into drawing comics.
Nice.
It's something that I had dabbled with in the 90s and never really much pursued because we didn't have things like YouTube where you can watch the masters at work. So really I only had a few books to reference, and I had a whole complex fabric of self-esteem issues at the time, so I wasn't in any shape to really pursue anything at the time. So in the last maybe like 6 months, I've been picking that up, and I got to thank Polydub and Weebo Jones for. There was a certain cocktail hour that I don't think at this point I can't even remember how the subject came up, but self-publishing, I think it was, they were talking about, and it just clicked, and something that I had kind of been pondering like in the weeks and months before. It's like, this that, and just like it clicked, the possibility of, you know what, maybe I could do like a GoFundMe or something of that nature, and produce my own independent books, like Jim Healis does. And so I started I started bringing back characters that I had created decades earlier, and I'm gonna get my Prismacolors in a couple of days here, and I'm
Killer.
gonna start whipping up some rough concept art for a book that I would like to start really getting into high gear next year.
Neat. What profession would you not like to try?
Politics.
And this is the way the last question is written. If heaven exists, what would you say, like to hear God say to you when you arrive at the pearly gates?
Would you care for a cheeseburger?
Like, all right, and this is the time with the top chat. I don't know why it should be live chat. Why is it not live chat? I hope I didn't miss anybody, y'all. It reset itself. It ain't my fault. So this is where the chat is to load in some questions. Green platter? I think that's a Wikipedia question. Green plater? Does that make?
Green plater. I don't know what that is.
I don't either. So,
Does that have something to do with electroplating?
Wikipedia. Do Vermont cars run on mud and maple syrup?
I don't know. Ask Stick, Sex, and Hammer.
That was for me, Duck Dog said. Yeah. Now we get it. Vermonter? Okay. Whatever. So, all right, so go ahead.
How about questions for me?
Yes, questions for six. Green plater is a Vermont car. Okay, I got you. Whatever. I've never been up there, though. I would love to see that part of the country. I love maple trees, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, you don't see a lot of them around here. It's pine and red clay, man. That's Alabama.
Okay, so Terry's got a question for me. Have I found a way to stop Jack rigging all the games? No, I haven't. And I would like to know why. I would like to know why I haven't quite figured that out. Because, well, it seems to me that it should be something that's fairly simple to figure out. But I don't know. I may be vastly underestimating the prowess and the tenacity of the Jack Gunsky.
Like the Prius owners on South Park, Duck Dog. All right, this is not for you. All right, it's full of douchebags. Maine, New Hampshire, north is I-95 corridor. Okay. 6 is developing the formula. What does that mean?
I don't know. I guess if I have enough glasses of bourbon while I'm on Clippers United, the epiphany will present itself.
I get it. I totally get that. Yeah, it seems like if you're not drinking, you're at a huge disadvantage with that bunch. Just saying.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
All right. And while we're waiting on more questions, I'll go ahead and ask you. All right. So we're back at YouTube. Who would you say is a criminally undersubscribed YouTuber that you don't understand why? Besides yourself. If you're not subscribed to this guy, you should really hook up and check his content out.
There are three
Yes.
people that I don't understand why their channels have just not gotten the amount of attention that I believe that they deserve. And the first one would have to be Nick's Radio. Nick's Radio is as a channel with just a fantastic commentary. He doesn't do much videos anymore, many videos anymore, but just fantastic, fantastic videos for the budget that he's working with. But he is a very bright guy, and if you ever talk to the dude, he's just an amazing gentleman. And just I don't understand why his channel has not garnered more attention than it has. The second, of course, is my good buddy Irving Twin, the angry drunk Canadian. I don't understand why. You know, he has far more subs than I do. I mean, to his credit, he's got like 700 subs at this point, but this is a guy that should have at least 2,000 subs, because he makes even if you're not into Canadian politics, the way that he presents things, and just this guy is an unsung pro that people really should be following. Irving Twin. He's just a fantastic, phenomenal individual that, yeah, he's just a truly great guy, and he should have a much larger following than he actually has. Most people probably have not heard of the third individual that I'm going to bring up, but let's see.
Irving is groovy.
Yeah, he's a great.
He's a groovy dude. I'm sorry, I was like I thought I had my phone turned off and somebody was trying to call. Sorry, I got defocused. Sorry.
Most people that are kind of in our circle would have heard of Chaos Eve.
Absolutely.
But you know, some people outside our circle would not have heard of Chaos Eve.
Indeed.
And if you haven't heard of Chaos Eve, you got to check her shit out.
Indeed. And
she is a great streamer and just funny, smart. Yeah.
And she did an ice cream last year.
Really?
So, yeah,
I need to check that out.
So, yeah, it's on file. So it's yeah, and it was great. Yeah, Eve is a great person. Just you know, very knowledgeable and all kinds of cool shit too.
Extreme, yeah. She and very supportive. Certainly somebody that is really like Irving. I've had like really deep conversations with both of these two individuals, and they're spectacular people, and I believe that they are criminally undersubbed.
I agree. Totally agree.
Yeah.
And if you didn't notice, Six's links are in the description. I've got his Twitter and both of his YouTube channels. So you have no excuse to not go over there and subscribe. Just saying. Fam. We're friends here, people.
Yeah. And all this month, I've been trying to promote other people as much as I possibly can. Because it's my belief that it's one of the things that we have to do as smaller independent content creators. Is we have to support and promote each other. And the thing is, I don't really care if somebody subs to me or not over this. My goal is to tell others about people that I find very interesting and respect. So that's my goal. That's my aim. I know that YouTube is not going to help us out at all. In fact, they do a lot to prevent people like you and me gaining more steam, because we're just not their kind of content creator. And it's never going to be it's never going to be a situation where they're going to bend over backwards or do backflips to help us. That's just not
No.
going to happen. So it's up to us to promote each other.
Yep.
And that was my aim all this month, is to tell people that follow me on Twitter, and I only have a couple hundred people that follow me on Twitter, but even that small number of people, it was important to me to tell them about the people that I like and respect, because I believe that is what we need to do.
Indeed. I totally agree with that. Who would you say is overhyped?
Someone that I believe is overhyped. And it didn't used to be this way, but he's really kind of strayed from being kind of a person that I used to have a lot more sympathy for the dude, but I would have to say Boogie 2988.
Yeah, you get no argument from me on that one too. It's been a weird year. So what will finally break the internet?
We'll finally break the internet. I would have to say what would finally break the internet is if we find out that indeed it is cats that run the internet. And that's the reason why cat videos are so popular.
But you know, there's the cats from All Your Base Are Belong to Us too. So, hello, gentlemen.
You have no chance to survive. Make your time.
I love that. I still play it today.
We get signal.
Turn on. That's right.
Yeah.
Do you? All right. So what? All right. So talk about. This is where you talk about your content, plans you got. Any new stuff? Any new directions? New shows that you'll be doing popping up.
Well, yeah. I just want to reiterate that this year is my 5th anniversary. In December of this year, I will be celebrating my 5th anniversary as a YouTube content creator.
We need a little Christmas right this very minute.
Oh yeah.
Yes. So.
And that's what I have planned for a bit later this year. Of course, the last couple of days since I've been on vacation, I've had a lot more time to actually stream, so it's been pretty badass. I did my last peak, not peak busy, but my last 65 stream. I had that with Killing Joke and Badger Man, so that was fun.
Yeah, bet.
And we were talking about politics and so on and so forth, and the upcoming election. And the very next day, those Hideouts and Henchmen with director Arbiter, and Bad Six was doing his Bad Six thing. And you can check that.
I was watching that today.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's funny, man.
You can check that shit out on my live streams channel, which of course is in the description as Irate Prostate. So
yes.
In the next few days, I kind of put the offer out there with the certain crew that get together every week and say a lot of funny things. And one of these guys, they like to rig games. Hint, hint, wink, wink, nudge, nudge. Say no more. Say no more. If they will have me on their stream, I would be much obliged. And there's a lot of things that I could do with this vacation, but things are still kind of up in the air. I have planned, of course, the 4th season of Peak 60. I don't know if you guys have been watching this. Peak 60 there was a very, very And I don't really want to go into exactly what led up to that. Most people that know you and I kind of fun, they know what led up to this, and certainly all the stuff surrounding it. I don't need to go into it because pretty much everybody knows. But there was a time in late 2018 to early 2019 where I couldn't even. So I was off of social media for the most part, and it was up in the air as to whether I was actually going to come back and continue being a YouTube content creator, return to Twitter, so on and so on and so forth. So I wanted to kind of create something that was just going to be for the people that were like closest to me, and perhaps even eventually be something that I would put on my channel as sort of a legacy, as a way of people knowing who the next 6 minutes was. So I came up with a video series, and I had the notion of making like a best of, but it occurred to me that would be sort of boring. So instead of doing a best of, I decided to make a worst of. So I went back to all my old material and re-edited into videos. I took all my mistakes, all of them, all my flubs, all my mispronunciations, everything that I did wrong, and all of the B-roll stuff, and I re-edited some of my existing stuff, and I came up with the Peak 60 thing. And I was originally thinking of making one big video, but then it occurred to me there is so much shit here, I can't possibly do that. So I instead made them into episodes that are based on months, like January, February, March, April, so on and so on and so forth. So I came up with the initial first season of Peak 60, and this was all before I decided to actually come back, and fortunately I did. And May of that year, May of 2019, was like, you know what? Why don't I just release this, all this stuff, not unlisted, but listed, so everybody else can enjoy this. So that's what I did in May of 2019, and that became Peak 60 Season 1, and that was all the stuff from 2016. And I figured, you know what? I'll do a second season of all the stuff from 2017. So that's what I did. So I did Season 2 later that year of all the stuff from 2017. And then I understood that given the way things were in 2018 and 2019, I wouldn't have enough stuff to make an independent third season based on 2018. So I just mashed everything from 2018 and 2019 together to make a shortened Season 3. So that's why Season 3 exists. And you know what? I have plans to do Season 4.
Killer.
That's going to be out this January. So Peak 60, Season 4. If you want to see outtakes and B-roll and lots of interesting little tidbits from the next 6 minutes, check out my primary channel and watch you some Peak 60.
Jack Gunsky says 6. Get on my stream, damn it.
I will do so. I will do so. When the time comes, send me that link, and I will be on that stream, and I will bring all my filthy jokes with me in order to thwart your rigging. #rigged.
Well, man, we are at the end of the line here. You kind of just shilled your channel. Do it again, just for tradition's sake.
Will do. You can check me out on the Next 6 Minutes channel. That you have to spell out the word 6. You can't. It's not a number. It's not like my Twitter handle. So yeah, you write out the next 6 minutes. I'm also on the next live streams. You can follow me, of course, on Twitter. If you happen to be one of the cool kids in the know, you will have, of course, my Discord. And let's see, I don't really go to Gab anymore because it's, yeah, no. And I don't really so much go to Minds anymore, even though it did kind of get me into knowing people, but I don't really check that out anymore. So yeah, that is my social media presence, and I guess that's what I can shill.
Sweet. All right, and I want to do a quickie. Tomorrow, Becca and I at 6 o'clock on Extra Credit, we're going to be. We're almost at the end of the Chinese, the Taiwanese propaganda stuff about Red China, the Chinese Communist Party, and also have a something that from the 50s or 60s. I can't figure out which one I want to show to go with this, because it's kind of both the things that we're going to be looking at are kind of election related, and of course, you know, the rest of the week. This time next week, in the chair across from me will be the one known as right-wing BDSM guy, and he's going to show up this time. So just saying. Yeah, right. And man, I don't know. I've got nothing else to say except goodbye to the lovely chat. You've been awesome. Thanks for the moolah. It helps. Trust me, it really does. Even, you know, every little bit, man. It's awesome. I don't deserve it, but I'm grateful for it. And on that note, let's say goodbye, bro.
You all take it easy. Thank you certainly for tuning in as long as you have to listen to all the things I have to say. And as I I still find it's very awesome that I get as much attention as I do, and I'm appreciative of every minute that anybody submits to listening to my streams, watching my videos, subbing. I don't have many subs, but I appreciate all of you. I don't have many followers on Twitter, but I appreciate every single one of you.
Indeed.
You are quality people, and I value quality over quantity any day of the week. So thank you all very much for following me and through all the really strange and difficult things over the last couple of years. Been patient with me. So thank you very much for that.
Well, I want to thank you, man, for, you know, I'm so tickled that we could do this. I've been wanting to do it for a long time. So need to say no more for me on that. But I got to take us out. And on that note, people, thanks everybody. It's been awesome. All right.
Y'all take it easy there. Okay, happy Dia de los Muertos. You guys have a wonderful one.
Thanks, y'all. We'll see you next time. It's been crazy.